No, the clock on whenever you're watching this isn't wrong. No, I'm not at Keuka Lake right now. Yeah. Oh gosh. I have to say I'm rather feeling mixed emotions right now. Oh, actually, what am I doing? Happy Saturday, everyone. And also there's no Blue Hammer Award video today because Horseheads didn't play last night. They play later this afternoon at Main Enma. So that's why I'm not currently holding the Blue Hammer Award at all. Even though it's clearly right next to the phone that I'm recording this video on. I mean, you saw my short last night, and you already know that it was like 1, almost 2 a.m. when I finally did the short. And it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. Not the absolute latest I've done a video, mind you. But I just couldn't get out of bed today. And that's my low. I mean, I was supposed to help my parents take care of the last remaining stuff up at Keuka Lake, but my mom said, it's okay. If you need to get sleep, do that, stuff like that. So she was understanding. And it's not like they really had much left to do. Like, the TV and TV stand in the main room and the refrigerator inside the cottage were like the two big things in the cottage. And then there was a whole bunch of miscellaneous small stuff in the garage. That's really about it, because they're tearing down the garage too. I mean, I really do have a lot of mixed emotions about it. By the way, before I do anything else, I'll say that my low is the fact that I stayed in bed way too long. My high, well, actually, my last night really was a lot of fun. Went to Grand Central Plaza Discount Wine and Liquor for a couple of tastings yesterday. That was awesome. Also went to Harvest on Market Street in Corning. It's basically like Sparkle, only it's a lot warmer, which is great. I also went to Sonny's for a little bit and saw some of the best people I know, which is awesome. Like, last night was great. I wanted to go to bed way too late, but semantics. And what was my act of kindness? Well, actually, my act of kindness was I took the time to see my parents yesterday. I absolutely need to do that, especially when my mom worked yesterday and, I wanted to see her when she got home. I absolutely need to do that. Because normally, I'll spend Fridays with her, but she was working yesterday, so, oh well. So about the mixed emotions I'm feeling. I suppose, hold on. Yeah. September 14th will officially be my last Keuka Lake video of 2025. Which means it already happened, so yeah. That's the last Keuka Lake video of 2025. I mean, could I go up and record and drive all the way back here or anywhere I can find service to upload things? Yeah, I could. But honestly, again, that's why it's mixed emotions. Because on the one hand, while any more time at the Keuka Lake would always be greatly appreciated, I also have to understand that, there is a time and a place. And I like to think that in spite of how many fewer Keuka Lake videos I did this year, I got a lot done. I was able to do a whole bunch of things. For the most part, I was able to go to all of my favorite places. I went to things that I had never done before, like Smoke on the Water in Hammondsport, or the adult prom at Abandoned Brewing Company. Not to mention a bunch of shows that I saw at Laurentide Beer Company, although granted, some of them were for Claudia Heuser, but still. And the shows I saw Claudia Heuser at the Swits too. That was really great. Not to mention the rodeo at Mud Creek Bison Ranch, even though it's technically not Keuka Lake, but I drove from Keuka Lake to get there, so I'm going to count it. You know, when I think about it, I accomplished quite a lot. And I even went to Seneca Lake a couple times. You know, I'd never been to the boat regatta before. I'd never been to the Showboat Lodge on Seneca Lake, but that was for my cousin's celebration of life. I had never been to Flax Run. I'd never been to Relative Risk. So, yeah, I really did accomplish a lot. And I'm very happy about that. I truly am. I think this year it hits a lot harder for me because, I mean, I'm going back to Keuka Lake next summer, you know, Memorial Day weekend, of course I am. But this was the last summer that we have the cottage as we've always had it. I mean, I've said this many times over the course of the summer, but, you know, my parents plan on tearing down the cottage and rebuilding it. So, you know, when they retire full time, you know, they're going to live there year round. I mean, Keuka Lake is a very beautiful area to live in, especially year round. I mean, the few times I've been there, you know, during the cold winter months, whether it was for visiting my grandfather when he was up there or just for whatever other reason, it's a very beautiful place. I mean, students at Keuka College especially can attest to the fact that, you know, you could do, you could literally ice skate on the lake. In some cases, you could even do ice fishing. That's pretty cool. And not to mention, towns like Hammondsport and Penn Yan are still going to be, for lack of a better word, because I can't think of anything, you know, hustling and bustling. I mean, Penn Yan especially because I just mentioned Keuka College. It's a college town. You know, there's going to be plenty of excitement to do in Penn Yan. And Hammondsport not being that far, you got stuff there too. And Branchport even. It's just mixed due to the fact, my emotions are just mixed due to the fact that, you know, my entire life, I went to a place that, as far as I know, actually, I absolutely can do this. I can close my eyes and picture what it looks like. Like, I don't even need thankfully my mom's going to take a couple photographs of it, but I almost don't even need a photograph. Like, I could almost tell you where everything is, like, just based off of closing my eyes and picturing it alone. I know what's upstairs, I know what's downstairs, I know where there's a bed, I know where the TV is, I know where the chairs are. I could name it all. And it is a good thing that I will have those memories. Absolutely it will be. But it's just going to be so different, you know, going back to Keuka Lake and seeing a building that I really have never seen before, and that's where my family's going to be, you know, forever. At least, you know, during the summers and such. Until my parents retire and they live year round. The point is, it's just going to be very different. I mean, I can still remember. I remember when my grandmother wanted, because the cottage used to be white, but she wanted to get the house sided, and she got it to be St. Louis peach. That's what she wanted the cottage to look like. And yeah, the St. Louis peach colored cottage. I mean, in terms of what the cottage is going to look like after it's rebuilt, I really couldn't tell you. Like, I think maybe once have I ever actually seen the, actual design and the blueprints, and, I couldn't tell you what it looks like. But, I mean, I trust my mom's judgment in terms of what she wants where, I mean, not to mention, this was an old cottage. I mean, this cottage has got to be like, if it's not 100 years old, I'd be shocked. I mean, this cottage was built in the day where, the building practices of today were completely unheard of. I mean, 100 plus years ago, if you wanted to like build, a building of any kind, even if it was just like a cottage or a house, just built from the ground up. You didn't really ask any questions or anything. I mean, a foundation, what's that? Yeah, there's like no foundation. It's just literally like on ground. There's no basement, no, if you want to get water, you gotta, go through the pipe the old-fashioned way and, undo the valve that accesses water from the lake. Yeah, anytime I ever showered up there, it was always under lake water, which technically you're also not supposed to drink either. But listen, if it's a hot enough day, and if you're thirsty enough and desperate enough, you will drink anything. My point is, this cottage was about as old school as it got. And for my entire life, it served me, to say it served me well would be an understatement. This cottage went above and beyond in terms of being a place that I really could call my second home. It gave me something to look forward to. It gave me memories that I will have for the absolute rest of my life. My one and only regret is I never really, my brother would have company sometimes, but I never, this really, by the way, this is a me thing, but, and I'll probably get into more of this in December, but I was always kind of nervous about wanting company that I invite up to the lake. I mean, at this point, I'm 35 years old. If, I wanted company up at the lake, if I asked my mom, because let's be honest, the final say goes to my mom. If I wanted company up there, she'd be okay with it. But then there's the fact that, and if anyone owns a cottage, whether it's on Keuka Lake, Seneca Lake, Canandaigua Lake, Cayuga Lake, wherever you're at, maintaining a cottage is hard. Oh, darn it. Things off kilter again. There we go. Where was I? Maintaining a cottage is hard. I mean, you gotta clean up everything. You gotta make sure everything looks nice if you are having company come over. Not to mention, what food are you going to have if company comes over? What activities are you going to do? There's a lot to take in and a lot to do. Not to mention, the list of people I've always wanted to visit the cottage is so incredibly long that there's no way I could have one single party and invite everybody. I mean, even for, could I? Theoretically, yes. But the cottage itself is kind of on the small side as it was. Actually, I shouldn't say it was small. It was fairly above average in size, I guess. I mean, 2 stories, a porch, front and back. That's really about it in terms of the actual building. So, and not to mention, because my family has a boat, everybody would want a boat ride. And you can only fit so many people in a boat, too. Again, it's a lot to take in. And sure, people can go swimming, of course. That's always an option. But, with so many people, there's just so many random variables you just don't know. The one thing I do know is anytime that I actually did videos up at the lake, at least the ones that were inside the building that you guys could see. I mean, I hope you enjoyed them. I mean, they're going to be on the internet forever, so no worries about that. What else? And listen, am I sad that we're not going to Keuka Lake anymore? At least until Memorial Day next year? Yeah, of course I am. Who wouldn't be? But, I mean, in terms of actual Keuka Lake itself, it's not going anywhere. I mean, I've said this many times in my videos. Keuka Lake was formed, during the Ice Age. It was here long before I was born. And, God willing, it's going to be there long after I'm gone. So, I'm not really worried about that. And, again, it is about time. I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful day out right now, but only during the daytime. At night, it's actually pretty cold out. So that's another thing, it being cold up at the lake. I mean, yeah, we've got, the pilot, so, we have a source of heat, but, I mean, there's just, I really could list off a bunch of reasons why it really is a good thing that, lake season is over. But, yeah. I'm sure I'll have a bunch of photos to post in terms of what the cottage looked like, up soon. By the way, I say look, no kidding, after this weekend, that's when it's going to be torn down. It's unbelievable how soon it's going to happen. My mom gave me the option, do I want to look at it one last time, or do I want to see it as it is? I mean, I just said earlier, I can literally close my eyes and I can tell you where everything up there is at the moment. So, I guess I'm not at a worse for wear. But I guess to physically be there would be different as well. I don't know. It's very mixed emotions for me. But overall, I'd say I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable as is. My entire life, 35 summers, that cottage served me great. And whatever my parents decide to build up there, I'm sure it's going to serve me and my family forever. I mean, I'm sure anyone who's ever had to tear down a building only to rebuild to live in has had this experience where, you just grew accustomed to it that you really could call it your second home. And Keuka Lake will always be my second home. Whether it's the 2-story St. Louis peach-colored cottage I grew up with that was originally white before we sided it, or whatever my parents decide to build. I'll always say this with the utmost optimism. I am a Keuka Lake kid. Forever and ever and a day. Don't get me wrong, The rest of the Finger Lakes are beautiful. Looking at you, Seneca Lake. But, like, when you're at your specific Finger Lake, you know that it's your second home. You just feel it. And that's how it's always going to feel for me. Sorry this video is rather on the emotional side. I promise I'll have something more upbeat and optimistic tomorrow. I mean, hey, I've got NFL picks to make. Gotta do that. Of course, we gotta wait till tomorrow anyway. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. And as always, I'm very humble at this video. For all of you guys who watch and enjoy for today, I'm hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you know, always have your back. Take care. And as always, make good choices. 607 all day, baby.